What is going on, everybody? And welcome back to the greatest combat sports and culture show, the entire universe of fight podcast. I'm your host, SERG VICENTE, and today we have a great show for you guys. I am joined by Chicago's very own, by a friend of the show. We are talking about none other than the dominant flyweight, bantamweight, whatever he really wants to be, Jose "Shorty" Torres. Shorty, what it do, bro? Welcome back to the show.
I appreciate you having me back on it, man. It's a pleasure. I'm out here in Dagestan. The time zone is completely different. I believe it's about to be like 10:30, 11 p.m. right now, and it's 8-hour difference from my hometown Chicago. So it's a crazy thing. But dude, I'm in the mountains. Like, this is a whole Rocky IV experience. So it's honestly like a dream come true to me.
Dude, that's so dope. I mean, think about everybody's been talking about obviously Dagestan and stuff, but being out there in Russia. And they're like, what's that like, man? What is everything, the atmosphere? Are you out there wrestling bears yet?
No, it's funny. I haven't seen a bear yet, but we've done, I'm in the mountains and man, it's so crazy because the first week they're like, oh, we're going to, train at the wrestling academy here, the MMA academy that we have. And it was dope. No one speaks English, but everyone's super helpful and trying to help me out and push me. And it was awesome. And they're like, okay, now time for the hard part. I was like, that wasn't the hard part. They're like, no, now we go to Village. And I was like, Village? Out of nowhere, literally, we drive 3 hours to the mountains, and I'm in 8,000 feet, elevation, altitude. It's higher than Colorado, So, and then they're like, okay, we're going to do mountain runs. And the very first day we did a mountain run, it was snowing. Like, the one day out of the week, it decided to snow. And so everyone's like, all right, cool, let's go. And I was like, oh, cool, yeah, sure, all right, so decided to do it, and man, the floors are muddy. I mean, there's no more road anymore. There's animals everywhere, random horses, random cows. I know there's wolves out here. I still haven't seen a bear. I'm a little disappointed, but and I haven't seen Hasbullah yet either. I wanna wrestle Hasbullah.
Oh man,
Hasbullah. But which is funny because, man, I was doing the sauna the other day, and the saunas, the banyas out here are ridiculous. Like, they're just like the temperature is just so much, and these guys are like, oh yeah, having a good time, and I'm like, what the like, come on, man, so I'm sitting because there's so many different levels. So
facts.
I'm literally sitting on the floor. I can't even do it, and so I'm sitting on the floor, and all these guys don't speak English, so they're walking in, they're saying whatever in Russian. They're looking at me, they're looking at their friends, they're like, American. And I was like, hi, yeah. So it's a crazy experience out here, man.
That's awesome, dude. And you know what? I gotta ask you, because you, especially ever since you've been in Brave, and you've always been somebody that I've considered like a Ronin. You know what I mean? You're going out there, you travel everywhere, you train with some of the best in the world. What has that been like, traveling and not having that like home base, like really getting as much as you can from everywhere you can get?
Man, and I do see myself as a Ronin, because to be a true mixed martial artist, you're not going to learn from one coach. I have my head coach, Master Bob Shermer. I have Dean Thomas. I have another one here, Eldar Eldarov, and I have so many more. I've trained at Jackson Wink, Rufus Sport, American Top Team, Team Elevation, Muscle Farm, Training Lab. I mean, the list goes on and on. San Diego Combat Academy, KHK teams, both in Bahrain and Dagestan. I mean, there's so many gyms, and again, a bunch of other gyms that I'm not naming, but just or forgetting at least. And there's every single place has their their trademark stuff. If you ever watch Dragon Ball Z, if you ever watch One Piece, you ever watch all these different shows, it's like this guy has learned so many different techniques, not from the same person. You have to. It's not that people. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you're not loyal." It's like, no, I'm still loyal. I still talk to my head coach. I still go back to him every single day. The guy who got me into this when I was 16, got me out of the streets. He's the one cornering me for my fight. He might not be with me every single day, but hey, man, he lives a life, and he understands that he's not going to teach me everything, and he knows that it's kind of like a relationship. As long as there's communication and loyalty, like, I'm going to come back, man. I'm going to work, but I'm coming back at the end of the day. And Dean Thomas knows that as well. The guys here at KHK know that, and it's a process. And I think that's the new trend in MMA. You see so many guys kind of hopping gyms, but a lot of the coaches, a lot of the teams look at it as like a relationship. Like, oh, they're cheating on us. Oh, forget them. We want them to lose now. And it's like, no, man, how about you enjoyed the time we were there? And I enjoyed the time I was there. And then we just move on, man. Nothing lasts forever. Let's just enjoy the now, see where it goes. And if you're there tomorrow, you're there tomorrow. If you're there in a month, you're there in a month. If you're not, then man, at least it was a great adventure. And I appreciate all the love and opportunities. So
Absolutely.
to all the gyms, like no matter good or bad experiences, I mean, it's been majority good. So I'm happy and I've learned so much from it. And then now being able to, be part of Brave and not just train, but fight all around the world, dude. I went to
Yeah.
my first fight with Brave was supposed to be in the Philippines. Sadly, I had to
Mhm.
pull out because of an injury. But I fought in Jordan. I didn't know
Yeah.
Jordan had one of the natural wonders of the world, and I got to see Petra, right after the
That's
fight. I was like, yo, this
amazing.
is Indiana Jones. Like, this is dope,
Straight up,
So
yeah.
it's an experience, man, and you gotta take what's in front of you and just enjoy the now.
I love that, bro. I love that. And again, like I said, now that you are in Brave, you're doing your thing, and it's really a pleasure, like like following you on social media and stuff because you're seeing you at all these other gyms, hey, you're like doing your thing and really getting working with some badasses that a lot of people, even who are like UFC fans, let's say, don't know. But you're over here getting work with some of the best guys in the world from all over the world, and it's super dope to see. And now you're in Brave 55. You're going against a tough dude that has fought for championships in the UFC. We're talking about like Ali Bagautinov, who has been a monster for years. And now you have an opportunity to fight him. Man, how has the preparation for this camp specifically been for you?
Man, it's crazy because mentally, and I'm as real as possible. So for me, it's
Yeah, for
always real
sure.
talk, So I was excited watching the fight between Dustin and Ali, and I was commentating that fight. I'm like, damn, dude, I'm commentating two UFC guys that
Straight
helped
up.
build my division, and
Yo, yeah.
I'm watching this, and I was like, man, I was an amateur, like now getting big while these guys were getting real big in the UFC, and
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the fight, and I'm like, damn, Ali's just like I'm just watching a spectacle to me, It's like
Yeah.
any little
Yeah.
scramble that they had, I was like, oh, that was smart.
That's
Oh, like
sick.
I'm
Yeah.
taking notes, And then after the fight, I was like, oh, damn, I got to fight one of them. All right. And so, did the face off. And then, everything was all good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when the poster officially came out, like I signed the contract, whatever. But when the poster officially came out, I'm not even gonna lie, like I had kind of like an anxiety attack. I was like, damn, this is real life stuff. I'm fighting
Yeah.
somebody I watched growing up. To me, it's like De La Hoya fighting Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. It's like that passing of the torch,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
that flyweight division. I might not be Russian, but it's the fact of being able to get that opportunity to fight a
Yeah.
legend in the sport, really a guy
Mhm.
who helped build my division, a reason why my division is still alive all around the world.
Absolutely.
It's phenomenal, So I
Yeah.
mean,
And he's
I've
still
always,
a beast too. He's still out there winning
yeah,
fights. He's still super tough.
he's smart, he's a
Yep.
smart fighter. And I have respect for all my opponents. Like I've never been the
Of
guy to
course.
Kobe Covington or Conor McGregor, I'm just like, hey
Right.
man, all
Right.
love and support, but I gotta beat you up. It is what it is.
Facts.
But
Hey,
with
bro, that's
this
that
guy,
Chicago in you, fam.
yeah, man. So like once it started coming in, I was like, let me have fun, having fun call outs, trying to increase my social media. And him and I have been joking back and forth, with call outs.
Mhm.
But man, it's been a real life experience just training for this fight,
That's
both with
awesome.
Dean Thomas, my team at the firm, Jillian and David Evans, and then
Yeah.
being out here in Dagestan. Like he's actually called my coaches here, and they're like, yo, come on, man, you're training my opponent. Like I'm from Dagestan. And I was just like, they like me, so it's just a cool time, man, and I'm enjoying the experience, and I'm excited for him. He's older, but it doesn't
Yeah.
mean he's not scary, and that's something I'm excited about.
Oh, and I mean, let's be honest. Ever since he's really left the UFC, he's kind of been on a tear. He's super tough. He's beating everybody. And so for you, like I said, you're 10-1-1. You're going out there. You're still honestly one of the best, flyweight slash bantamweights in the world. For yourself, what are you? What is it going to take for people to really start giving you the respect as the best in the world? I mean, how do you feel like what is it going to take for that?
Honestly, it's hard to do that for the flyweight division because there's
Yeah.
not so much notoriety, because people are like, oh, small guys, they don't treat it like boxing,
Mhm.
Lomachenko, Pacquiao, all these other guys.
In your way.
But for me, yeah, in a way,
Yeah.
Donaire, all these guys. So for
Yeah.
me, it's like I just got to keep on beating legends, and this is the first
Exactly.
one that
Exactly.
I'm fighting in a long time. Most of the guys, like if you look at my Titan FC run, the
Mhm.
the scariest slash most exciting fights that I've had have been against legends. The
Yeah.
guy who I defended my belt against, Pedro Noro, was 18-2, was never finished. I knocked him
Right.
out in like I think 86 seconds.
Yep.
Then my next fight, I decided to bump up. The guy was 17-7. Given I didn't finish him, but man, it was a 5-round war. We both broke our hands, and there were so many battles, in it. And I came back through
Facts.
adversity. So for me, I'm that whole Goku thing where it's like I might not 100% think I'm gonna win, but I'm excited to go in there because it makes me train that much harder. It gets me that much more excited. And if I'm
Right.
scared, which I said after my post fight, I was like, man, I got to fight either Dustin or Ali. Like, I'm intimidated. And if I fight the way I did now, I'm going to lose. So I know, and I knew then that I had to train hard, and that's where I'm at today. And that's why I decided to come out to Dagestan.
That's awesome. You know what, man? I love that you said that because you always hear the athletes that are you almost see, like, for instance, athletes that go out there and act like nothing's wrong. Like, I didn't lose a
Yeah.
fight. Like, even Marvin Vittori, right? He's out there like, I didn't lose to Adesanya. I don't care what anybody says. But having the humility to sit there and say, you know what, I have things to work on. I can't do this. How does that help you in going into the cage? Do you feel like you're able to actually kind of just get better with that, being more realistic with yourself?
Yeah, man. There's a difference between being humble, confident, and cocky. I'm trying to
Facts.
be confident. I know my skills, and I've worked a lot on my mental health, and I believe that's a huge thing. Without being the proper, it doesn't matter how good your machine is. If you don't have a proper
Hmm.
operator, like that machine is worthless. So for me,
Facts.
I've had my mental struggles the past few years, and being able to come back through depression, anxiety, all these different thoughts, it's really starting to humble myself in a very positive way, but build myself up in a confident way to go. It's okay to not brag, but go,
Hmm.
hey man, I know what I can do. It's okay to be confident and put in that work. If I beat my partner up, that's okay, because that's only going to make them better compared to like, all right, let me just kind of play with them, let them work and bring my level down. Now
Right.
I'm getting hurt. Now I'm getting beat up. So going against Ali and possibly Dustin in the future and all these guys, like I know I can compete with most of them. I,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
say I'm not trying to be the best in the world. I'm trying to
Hmm.
be the best me, and I know the best me can compete with some of the best in the world.
That's
So
amazing.
that
Love that.
it's never the process of me trying to beat someone up. I mean, every single, like, again, this guy saying that he didn't lose Adesanya, cool, whatever. But it's a mental thing.
Right.
Every single fight you go in there, as long as you walk out, man, that's a mental win. That's a huge, huge win, especially at the highest
Real.
level. But for me, I'm trying to be the best me in the world to compete with some of the best. And I know if I'm at my 100%, if not close to that, I can beat Ali. And I think I can do it very dominantly. And that's something I'm
Yeah.
excited to showcase. And for me, again, anytime I've come up against someone where I'm the obvious underdog because of the record, I believe he's 21-7, accolades, up to
Hmm.
whatever. I'm only
Yep.
10-1-1. He has 3 times the record. For me,
Yeah.
that brings real good jitters out, gets me excited, and wants me to put on a better performance.
Dude, well, look, like I said, he is a legend. He is, as a 20-7. But you've been a champ before.
Mhm.
And now I have to ask you, you get a W here. Is that what you're searching for also? Are you going to try to get that brave champ status?
Yeah, so for me, my biggest idol growing up was Manny Pacquiao. 8 division world
Legend.
champ, loved to
Yes,
bump
sir.
up, and he just wanted to do stuff to be different. Didn't want to
Hmm.
just be the average champion or even a dominant champion because he could have.
Yeah.
For me, I
Yeah.
was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
man, when I was trying to make it to the UFC, I was like,
Hmm.
all right, let me win the belt. Okay, well, let me defend it against the number one guy. I was only 3 and
Hmm.
0, and I beat a guy who was 18-2. I was like,
Absolutely.
all right, cool, did that. Oh, but they still don't want me to the next level. Well, I got to keep on proving a point. Let me
Yep.
bump up. And I
Yep.
didn't want to fight someone with the average record. That doesn't excite me. I don't know.
Mm.
It's just how I've always been. I've never liked easy fights. I've always liked
Yeah.
adversity. So I decided to bump up, won that. And they're like, oh, cool, let's bump you back down. I was like, no, man, I'm a champion. I got to defend it. I
Facts.
defended it. And that was a
Love
hard, that guy was huge. And then they still didn't want me. So I went back down. And even after that fight, I asked to go up to 145 to featherweight, but that champion sadly denied the fight, given a
Hmm.
smart idea, just because logically there really wasn't a win-win, for him,
Right.
whether
Right.
stylistically or not. Like, it just, if you beat me, it's like you beat the small guy, and if you
Exactly.
lost to the small guy.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I get it, but it sucks. So
Right.
with Brave, and that's something I want to do with the UFC. Obviously, things just didn't work out in my favor. Got signed to a
Hmm.
dying weight class, but with Brave,
Yeah. Yeah.
man, they've really respected me. So I want to, showcase all my skills with them as much as possible and go, man, you gave me so much respect. I'm gonna give you guys respect back. Let me win this tournament,
Mhm.
beat Ali. hopefully next fight against Valley Morad. And then after that, while you guys are waiting for a contender matchup, let me bump up to bantamweight, maybe fight for the belt, win or lose, no matter what, come back down and defend that one again.
I love that, man. I love that. I would love to be able to see that. Now, looking at you going, like I said, you're at Brave right now. You were in the UFC and stuff. Do you see a path you want to go back there? Or because of all the other amazing organizations that have been coming out, everything from the PFL, One, Bellator, Brave, do you see yourself going back there or making your career just wrecking shop, collecting belts like Overeem used to do?
Look at DJ. He said he wants to be the best in the world.
Yeah.
And that's why he decided to go to ONE FC and stay at ONE FC. And they pay him well. Brave pays me well, and they respect me. The UFC, man, I was given ultimatums. I was really demoralized. Didn't matter what the accolades I had. I got signed to a dying weight class, so I literally had the shortest end of the stick, and I'm not one to kiss ass. So when I decided to speak up, I got cut. I was like, well, I don't mess with that. So if I ever do decide to re-sign with the UFC, man, I have to have accomplished my personal goals with Brave and possibly other promotions in the future, and or get a lot of respect back. But right now, I have no aspirations to go to the UFC. I just signed a new fight deal for Brave, so that shows how much they respect me and how much I enjoy them. So I'm excited to accomplish these goals with Brave first, but it's one fight at a time. I never look. Because of all the mental struggle, I've never expected to last until tomorrow. So for me, that's why I'm like, let me go day by day, get to this fight, and then from there, look forward to the next opponent. So it's a process, man. But I know the UFC is technically the biggest promotion in the world, but that's why other promotions are being showcased. Look at Bellator ended up making a post and showcasing how much they pay their fighters compared to the UFC, and it's like almost 20% more. I mean, look at Francis Ngannou posting, he's the heavyweight champion of the world. He's supposed to be the baddest man on the planet.
Yep.
And he's, asking people for money.
That is ridiculous. So, with that being said, and in hearing that, because there are a lot of people going out there and doing things, and you, for instance, are one of those athletes that, you have a great social media presence. You're doing, color commentary on fights. So you have different options and things like this. Do you think it's important? Because I know a lot of people have talked about collective bargaining agreements, unions, and things like that. Is it time for that to happen within MMA?
Man, I wish, we could have a union and do all these things again. Like, I don't have health insurance. So after this fight, let's say, nothing happens in this fight and I'm fine. But a couple months later, I end up tearing something. I got to pay for that myself. Let's say I have to pay for that myself. And now I can't fight for 6 months. I still don't get paid. I don't get paid until I fight. That's why COVID was such a hard time for a lot of the promotions overseas, that you had to train fight internationally. For me, I've had one fight every year with Brave, technically, but that's not their fault. It's just COVID. I'm an American. And so right now there's kind of a travel ban on almost every single American in every country, so especially overseas. So it's complicated, man. But, I think fighters in general, that's why my coach wanted me to get a college education, just in case, I wasn't that good or injuries happen. I have something to fall back on. And luckily I can communicate well. I do color commentary. I'm planning to buy an apartment complex after this. I'm in the process of owning a restaurant or co-owning a restaurant. Like, I understand and know that, and I've talked to so many veterans in the sport that they wish they would invest their money in certain things earlier, or would have saved more money, or would have just been a little more logical and go, this fight career ain't gonna last forever. You look at Chuck Liddell, man, like that guy's still fighting. Possibly, I get he loves the fight, but maybe he needs the money too, and that's a struggle.
Yeah, no, dude. I mean, you and I have been around the game long. We know even veterans that have so many fights, they shouldn't have to continue fighting, and they still have to, and it's really, it breaks my heart. So I'm always curious to see what, what current guys think about it, because some people are like, gotta get in where you fit in. But it is one of those things that, and I'm happy to see, like, for instance, yourself, that you are doing a bunch of different things and you understand that, and you approach the game as, like I said, like Jay-Z says, like, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you go out there and handle your business, which I really do appreciate. So it's super dope. But I have to ask you about this, man. Switching gears slightly. You've talked about Dragon Ball Z. I've heard you say a couple of different things about anime, fam. Well, what anime you watching right now, man? Where is the hierarchy of Shorty's anime going right now?
You know, man, I wanted to watch a few anime, but sadly, because of Netflix out here, you know, animes get changed because of the region.
Right.
So, and you know, some streaming services you can't watch. So I can't watch like Disney Plus or even ESPN Plus or just random stuff. So I was like, man, let me watch an anime, you know, I really enjoy philosophically, you know, and really start to think because it gets me to enjoy stuff. So one anime I think I'm halfway through again is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and you know talks about philosophy, science, religion, the government, you know, truth, right? You know, so many things. And it's one of those anime that gets you to think. And I don't know if you ever seen like a really good movie or an anime,
of course,
where you watch it and the first time, you know, you're kind of not spooked, but you're like, damn, that's good, and then you just want to keep on watching the next episodes to find out the story. And with this one, because of all the revelations they have in that show, rewatching it, you start to nitpick, and you're like, damn, now I see the story like come together faster because I've seen it once already. It's not much of a shocker, but now you better understand the story the second time through. And honestly, that's easily one of the best anime story wise, and even animation wise. I think it's just hilarious how they play everything, the seriousness, and they balance it really really well. But I'm a person, again, because of the mental struggles I was facing, I'm Dragon Ball Z. Like, I love it, but sometimes, you know, it's just fighting. So I started to watch anime that had more of a philosophy behind it. You know, again, Full Metal Alchemist dealing with so many things, and, you know, family, again, friendship, loyalty, this, that. And then I was watching Cowboy Bebop, how to deal with your past. You watched the success of that, Samurai Champloo, what is purpose? You know, Death Note, you know, are you really creating justice, you know, by being able to do the things you do? Are you the good guy or the bad guy? You know, there's so many different things. It's so many. Neon Evangelion, like that show is dark as hell. Like, have you ever seen that show, man?
I haven't seen that one yet. It's literally on my list. I have not watched that one yet.
Yo, I remember watching that show in Bahrain, running on a treadmill, and I'm just like, what am I watching? You know, I'm just like, it's about teenagers, but it's such a dark show. It's pretty much teenagers with PTSD. It is such a dark show. But if you like Dragon Ball Z, one show you have to watch is Yu Yu Hakusho. That show is dope.
You see, look, I gotta check that one out. I'm a big Naruto guy. I'm not gonna stunt. Like, I watch all Naruto. I've watched them all, so like I'll get into that. Yo, have you seen like you were talking about Disney Plus? You peeped that they did the Star Wars and from all the major manga houses. They did the like the whole series over there, which is crazy. If you haven't checked that shit out, when you get back, because you ain't got it over there yet, but it is like crazy.
Yeah,
the artwork is crazy.
All right, I'm down to check it out. And me, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I'm not a fan of the Disney era Star Wars, but yo, we'll see.
Yo, so check it out. If you, like I said, it's Star Wars stories, but with all the major manga houses from Japan doing one individual like solo story in their own artwork. So you have their like specific dude. Oh, it's like 9 different episodes. Crazy. Like, you got to check that shit out.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So check it out. Before we get you out of here, man, to have a little fun real quick. Yeah, I got 2 more minutes. I have to ask you this. What fights, or actually before we get to that, where, because you've been all over the world, where for you has been the most like really cool place that you've been to?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. That's hard, because usually my first answer is Foz do Iguaçu, Brazil, which is one of the natural wonders of the world. Like, that waterfall is 4 times bigger than Niagara Falls. It's literally in the rainforest. It's by Argentina and Brazil, south of south, and just the experience is dope. But then coming out here, it's like it's a whole different lifestyle, and the mentality. Like, we're literally running in the city, and out of nowhere, there's like hundreds of people running. And I don't know, they're like, that guy is fighting the UFC. He's fighting the Bellator. I'm just like, how many fighters are out here? Like, this is their nature, you know? So, like, no one complains. Everyone does their work. So I think atmosphere-wise, I really do love, like, Dagestan and Russia. I think right now that might be my number one. Plus, dude, like, if you look at my story, I'm in the mountains. Like, this is it. It's not even like city mountains. It's like there's nothing around. There's a
Right.
village. There's one road. Two cars can't even fit on the road. So it's. I feel like it almost reminds you of like shows that you see in like the early 1900s. You
Yeah.
know, where like if you
Yeah.
need something,
Yeah.
you need to go to the hospital. You got to drive 2 hours. So like
That's
it's ridiculous,
crazy.
man. So I think that's my number one right now.
Oh, dude, I love it, man. That excites me, man. Seeing out there, because I love travel and stuff, and I know that part of the world is fucking beautiful, man. So being able to go out there and
Mm-hmm.
travel, that shit has to be amazing. And last but not least, aside from your own fights, what fight are you most looking forward to the back half of this year? It could be boxing, it could be MMA. Whatever. What fight are you most looking forward to aside from your own?
Yo, I got to give a shout out to my teammate, Jillian Robertson. I know she's fighting December 11th on the Charles Oliveira Poirier card,
Yep.
and for her getting back to it, she's on a 2 fight, losing streak. So
Mhm.
mentally, man, she's been killing it. And
Nice.
obviously she's been killing me because we're practice partners. And my teammate, David Evans, actually fights possibly in like the next hour in St. Louis for Shamrock FC. So shout out to him. But
There you
man,
go. Shout out
both
to him.
those, both those people are just, they're great teammates doing their thing. But Jillian fighting
Love
on
it.
that card too, knowing me because I'm the practice partner
Big
going
card.
out there, I was like, man, I get to watch some amazing fights live in person. So sadly, the Brandon Moreno Figueiredo card got pushed back until January. So
Yeah.
I'm as a flyweight, I gotta respect that. And then also
Right.
Demetrius Johnson having that super fight coming up in ONE FC. Sadly, I don't know his
Ooh,
opponent's
yeah.
name, but he's a guy that just randomly walks forward taking
Rat
shots.
attack.
So yeah, man, I'm excited for that. So those are the three big things. And then yeah, I'm a huge boxing fan. So
Nice.
man, I know there's fights tonight, but I really want to see Lomachenko fight again. That's one of
I
those biggest
know.
he's like my idol right now for boxing. Like Lomachenko, hopefully fighting Teofimo Lopez after Teofimo
Yes.
Lopez fights again soon. I believe he deserves that rematch, and then we'll see what
Yo, I
happens.
do. That fight, that rematch shit, man, that's gonna get me on a whole week. I'll have to have you come on and talk boxing with me because that's a whole different
I
thing.
got
I
you.
could, man, bro, we definitely gotta do it. But look, man, you're in Russia. It's late out there right now. I really appreciate your time, brother. Much continued success. Really quick, like I said, let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, man. My biggest platform is Instagram, Jose Shorty Torres. Please, guys, share the love, support. That's why I always do say we can, we will together. We are Team Shorty. And if you guys can, please follow my Team Shorty Foundation page on Instagram, Team Shorty Foundation. Right now, I'm selling
Oh, that's
T-shirts
today.
leading up to this fight. We just finished the pre-orders, so if you did the pre-order, you're gonna make it to the fight. But if you didn't, you can still order online. I believe they're about $30, American
Nice.
dollars,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
I believe they're only shipping in the U.S. right now. But
Yeah.
100% of the proceeds go to families for Thanksgiving dinner. So I'm buying turkeys, I'm buying food, I'm
Oh,
doing all
that's
that stuff.
awesome.
So none of that money goes to me. All that money goes pretty much to my foundation to be able to help support my community,
That.
and it helps so many people. So guys, please, one little shirt, man, it helps a lot and goes a long way for people.
Well, I'll go ahead and put the link to that and everything in my bio in the bio to this episode also and I'll end up grabbing one of those shirts as well. My brother from Chicago, Chi-Town, stand up as always. Keep your thing going, my dude. Like I said, good luck. I can't wait to see you brave. CF 55 November 6th against Ali Bagautinov, my boy Jose Shorty Torres. Shorty, thank you for joining me on the show today.
I appreciate you, man. And please, again, lastly, with that shirt, teamshorty.com, and anything people want to learn about me, check it out there. And if not, and I'm a very helpful person. So if you follow me on Instagram, message me. If you have any questions,
Nice.
message me. And if I got time, I'm more than happy to respond back. And I just appreciate all of the support. And again, that's why I do say we can, we will together. We are Team Shorty. I appreciate it,
There you
man. Take
go.
care of yourself.
You as well, brother. Take care. Have a good time out there, man, and great luck in your next fight.
Thank you.
All
Bye
right,
bye.
brother. Take care. Yes, sir. All right, everybody. Jose Shorty Torres, man, dude is an amazing dude. So happy to get him on the show. He's literally sitting there. It's like 1 a.m. in Dagestan right now. So I'm really, really grateful for him to join us on the show this morning. A lot of fun. Great dude. Chi-Town stand up as always. But look, everybody who has joined us today, thank you so much for joining us on the Fight Podcast. Remember, the Fight Podcast is available everywhere podcasting is available: Apple, Google Play, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher. Check us out at thefightpodcast.com. Listen, like, subscribe, and share to this video. And I appreciate you guys. Can't wait. We have so much more content coming out for you guys. Hey, and we'll talk soon. Love you. We'll talk next time. See you next time right here on Fight Pod.